when everything shut down, what were you guys eating? Did you have food in the house that day?
Lucky enough, we were drunk when we did our first Costco run. So we had like pizza bites, we had some tortilla chips, we had some bread,
Okay.
some peanut butter and jelly, and lots of tequila.
So you had that hood, you had that hood meal.
We look, all we did was because we just figured we would eat out, we had dinner reservations and stuff like that. So we had stuff for breakfast, but everything else was just stuff you eat when you're high. So
Right.
we were, trying to make things work. But it was crazy though,
Yeah.
like trying to get out yesterday to get to the grocery store and just sneaking in the trees and climbing the hills, and that was just wild. Like I was just like, this is something out of a fucking movie. And we were all just being like, damn,
Yeah.
I hope we don't get kidnapped. And I was like, well, I'm gonna leave y'all. I just want y'all to know that. So I'm gonna run. Like just I love y'all, but I just want y'all to know I'm gonna run.
I'm gone.
Girl.
Hey, community, here's what's brewing today.
Girl, I'm stuck in PV.
Ask your aunties, Olympic pride?
And niggas at the BAFTAs. And it's my birthday. So get your
Pew,
cups
pew.
ready. Minority Report. Ra-ta-ta-ta.
I fucking love that.
Hey, welcome to Minority Report. It is it's Auntie Jerrell.
It's Auntea Dawon.
And it's Auntie Jerrell, stuck in PV.
Hey.
Girl. And community, we're just gonna say up front, it's gonna be a rough episode because the internets and the Wi-Fi's all over this world is not cooperating. So there's delay
Baby.
from us hearing each other. So we're gonna try to work it out, but that's the reason up front.
Look, PV said, these cartels got this internet too, bitch.
Baby.
Yeah, it's been crazy out here, honestly.
We're just gonna get a line from Jerrell, like so. Coming from the streets of PV, we have Auntie Jerrell live for WMT Report. and first,
and niggas, let me tell
I know
y'all,
we're kind of cracking jokes.
It's crazy out here in these streets.
It's gonna be like that that meme that comes up with that black man that he's like fucking shit, motherfucker.
With that damn bug that flew in his mouth.
With that bug. Oh man, so like obviously we're making a little light of it, but like it's a serious situation. So like we're glad that Auntie Henny is safe, like, and we appreciate the community members too that were like DMing us and checking in, but like, okay, we know Jerrell's down there in PV. Like, is he safe? Is he good? And so we appreciate you all looking out for him. But Jerrell, I guess from your perspective, like, how are things? Like, obviously it's a little chaotic, but like that day, maybe you take us through that day when things were going down, like from your perspective.
It's it's honestly really crazy because we all woke up and had no idea what had happened, but all of a sudden there's fire and smoke everywhere. Like you can just smell the city on fire. You can hear the explosions from the cars, from the stores. Like literally they tried to set up like a gas tank on fire, like one of those big ass semi truck gas tanks on fire. Like it was just crazy to hear, see, and smell. And it was one of those things where it was just like, damn, like this group got together during the pandemic. Like we're a pandemic bubble that's still thriving as friends. And so
Yeah.
the fact that we survived the pandemic together, like, let's go on an annual trip. And then now we out here surviving the drug cartel out here and this drug war is like, damn. well, ain't this some
It's
shit?
like, are we the
Like,
common denominator?
God, something,
Am
okay,
I
tell
the
me
drama?
something. Well, shit. Is it me? Yeah, and then so like everything was just canceled, and like the US embassies and like the Canadian government were like, everyone shelter in place, like do not leave, don't go anywhere, because I think there was just a lot of misinformation out there as well too. People are saying that like US citizens have been kidnapped and people were getting shot and shit like that. I'm like, all right, girl, survival mode. You know, she just tied an imaginary
Yeah.
bun up, girl, and was just like, we got to figure some shit out. And that was Sunday, and we just stayed at the Airbnb. We got a nice little pool, and end up like meeting some of like the other houses or condos that are, you know, in the same building and stuff like that. And we tried to make the most of it. Monday come around,
Yeah.
and the girls are itching. Not me, but the gays. Okay, the other gays out there are itching. The way
Yes.
the like some of the other gays that we had met were trying, they were ready to be outside. They're like, this ain't it. We ain't come down here for this. I'm trying to be at the beach. I'm trying to be somewhere else. And my black ass like, go ahead about the business. But you ain't gonna see me. I'm like, I organized
I
like
know that's
for the
right.
crew. I was like, all right, I need you, you, and you, because y'all can run and y'all gonna follow directions. So you're gonna follow me as we go get some food. So we like climbing through the bushes and shit like that, trying to make our way down the mountain to the main city and everything. I'm like, too much talking. Shut up. We got a place to be. Like, let's go. And we end up getting groceries and alcohol and shit, making our way back up the hill. And we've been here since. We've been here since. We ain't left. So
And for y'all that's been in PV,
yeah,
those hills are
it's
no
been
joke. Like
interesting.
if your
But
Airbnb is up them hills, woo!
And dodging the cars that are driving up and down those
bitch,
hills, because that is a struggle.
That.
when I tell y'all, we got up the hill, I was just like, ooh, I mean, if y'all want to take me now, now's the perfect time because I ain't got nothing else to give.
That took all my energy.
Girl, everything.
He said, I'm coming, Elizabeth. I'm
Everything.
coming.
But right now, as we record, though, all the restrictions have been lifted. The gays are back at Man tomorrow. The gays are trying to go out tonight.
There you go.
I'm just trying to get home at this point. I just want to get home. And I feel bad because my husband,
Yeah.
growing up in a war,
Yeah, I'm sure. And I think he might have froze up there. Yeah. You hear him, Dawon?
No. I was
No?
giving it
Okay,
a
yeah,
minute.
so-
And it seems like she's stuck. And the image that I have
there we
is
go.
crazy because her neck is all the way back like this.
Right.
Stuck,
Oh, it
just
looks
frozen.
like she's done logged back
There
in.
she go. Okay, there she is.
Hey, yo.
So we'll get it together.
Hello.
Up.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
But and it's wild. And while we're kind of getting Jerrell back here, it is wild because like the last month, the amount of people I know that have been in PV is upsetting. And Corey and I were originally looking around this time period. Like he was trying to convince me, and it was me that was delaying it just because work and things like that. So I think then we were looking at April, and now we're like, okay, did we go? Did we, like, we're trying to be considerate of the situation. We don't want to be those people like, oh, vacay, privilege, you know. But then on the flip side, it's like a lot of the economy is based on us showing up and showing out there. And then C is just like, obviously it's still a touchy situation just because there's just a lot of unknown, you know. And so just kind of making the best educated decision one way or the other. But the amount of people that I know that are down there right now, like between Jerrell and his crew, then there's some folks that I know from San Diego that are there, some people I knew from New York that are down there. I know probably like 10 people that are down there right now going through this. Our friends that we went on the gay cruise, Vakai cruise here in Philly, they're down there right now. So like,
Damn.
we've been getting just like bits and pieces from everyone. And it's wild. And like, honestly, I also just feel bad for like the locals there as well, because it's just like, this is their home. Like they're going through it, you know, like, and so So it's just like, as much as we treat it as, oh, this is our vacay, this is our happy space, you know, we love the gayness of it all, but it's just like, this is their reality. And the unfortunate thing too, is it sounds like the U.S. might have some hands in some shit again. And it's just like, come the fuck on. So I know they looking at us up here like, the fuck y'all doing, trying to create instability, more instability than there's already down here. So I
feel
don't
bad
know.
for
It's
I
wild.
feel bad for a lot of the business owners that are just being impacted by all these things. You know, and the people that are being displaced from their homes that are above these businesses. I mean, so many, you know, with the car
Mm-hmm.
bombings and all these things. Yeah, you know, I understand that, you know, when shit goes down and your cartel leader is being assassinated and you're now retaliating, but it seems so misplaced, you know, like, and I get it. I get the thinking behind it. It's like, okay, well, we're gonna fuck up the tourism. We're gonna make it so that, you know, you really feel the impact of this. But it just, again, it sucks because like these are the people, the locals that live there, and it's their livelihoods that are being fucked up because, you know, they're being caught in the middle of, you know, things that have absolutely nothing to do with them. You know, like the
Right.
Puerto Vallarta, it has nothing to do, you know, with the politics and the cartels. I mean, as far as I know, I mean, you know, I'm sitting
Well,
over here in Bali, so what do I know? Maybe they do. Maybe maybe the targets that they're you know that they're impacting are for
It's
other
a
cartels
complicated
that
order,
are
you know, it's a little
that
intertwined.
part. But it does feel a little bit, I have a lot of sympathy for, you know, the locals, all that to say. I have a lot of sympathy for people whose livelihoods and lives are being impacted because they're being caught in the middle. And that also includes the people that are vacationing and, you know, choosing to come there and spend their dollars, their hard-earned dollars, you know, to have a nice respite from all the chaos of wherever they're coming from. So to go from,
Yeah.
you know, to come from the US where shit's already blowing up figuratively and no pun intended, to go to a place like PV where you're supposed to be just relaxing and enjoying and drinking margaritas and having fun, to not having that kind of experience is just, it's pretty awful all around.
Yeah. Yeah. So it looks like we have Jerrell here. And if he's sideways on your screen too, we'll figure that out. Maybe it's just going to be sideways on the episode. It is what it is, community. Again,
well,
this is going to be
it's
one of
right
them
on my
episodes.
end.
Bear with us. But
Yeah.
but again, we're
Can y'all even hear me?
it might work itself out in the recording, so it's all good as long as it's
Yeah,
we can.
because it's
I can
right
hear
on
you.
my
Yeah, we
end.
can hear you
Oh,
good.
there we go.
Yeah.
Now.
Hmm.
Okay, so yeah, it is what it is. We'll figure it out in post.
Okay.
But
Yeah, it's right on
but
my
again,
end. So
we're just glad to see that like most folks are safe and sound. Yes, there's some casualties, you know, on
Not quite.
obviously local businesses and things like that. And it was crazy, like one of the fires, like so, like one of my friends that's down there, he was showing the fires, and I was like, damn, that's the pharmacia that we always go to every time we're down there. That's the one we go to there because it got like, a little grocery store in it and things like that. So I'm like, damn, I know exactly
Yeah.
what that one's burning up, and I know that OXXO, and I know that
Mhm.
street. It's just like, oh man. And Corey's just like, man, that's my happy place. And he's like, I'm just sad to see this happening down there.
Yeah.
And what really saddens me too is just to see the rhetoric that's online, and like Jerrell said, like just a lot of the misinformation. But it's just like and a lot of them, the white people just saying, see, that's why we don't go to Mexico, and that's why they da 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 da. And I'm like, see, that's not, they ain't got shit to do with that. Y'all just tripping now. Like you're just saying whatever you want to say to justify you looking down on people and things like that. So part of me is just like, that's why I still kind of want to at least visit and spend my dollars there, because I've had such amazing times down there, and memories, and the local folks that we've just met over the years. Like a couple of them that I like DM, just be like, hey, making sure you're okay. And they're like, hey, thank you for, you know, checking in and things like that. Yeah, I don't know. So it's just like,
I feel like
we just wish
PV
the
is
best.
one of those places. I feel like PV is one of those places that there's a lot of love, specifically from the gay community for that, you know, for that town. And regardless of what's going on, I don't think that that's going to deter people in the long term from returning and spending their dollars and planning their, you know, their vacation time in PV. I think, you know, I feel bad for those people that had that were planning to go down there and couldn't get there. And, listen, there's terrible weather situations that are going on all around the United States. There's blizzards in the east. There's, all these kind of things that are happening. And people want an escape. And so I know a lot of people were looking forward to just getting away from the weather. Just forget about, the politics around it, just getting away from the weather. And, knowing that these holidays are being impacted by that, it's sad. But I think, to your point, people will be like, once the situation cools down and we know it's safe to come down there and, we don't have to worry about these things blowing up. Poor choice of words, but that things aren't happening anymore. I think we'll see people returning back to PV and gladly wanting to support these local businesses so they can reopen and hopefully recoup some of the the losses that they're experiencing over the next what will probably be the next couple of months.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, what I've seen from Instagram from some of the people that we've met so far, it already looks like people are trying to act like it's business as usual already in PV. So
they said we back
outside.
outside.
Yeah, they back outside. Back outside. So I said, if you were coming in the next 2 or 3 weeks, maybe pause, but give it about a month and then make that trip happen.
I know that's right.
It makes me think of that that little video of that guy in the UK who was like, "Ooh, gunshots! Aratata, aratata."
Right.
I'm in the ghetto. Ratatata. Ratatata.
Like, we're gonna be out in these streets. There's gonna be stuff going on, but we're still gonna have a good ass time.
Yes, I forgot about that, but that's like an iconic OG moment.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, look,
man.
stay
and
safe
Jerrell,
down there. Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Definitely stay safe. And I had a friend that hit me up. It sounds like you might have met Johnny down there as well. He's like, I think I met like the other auntie and this crew down here in PV.
I think so. I think he came up to me on Friday night. I think so. Yeah, because he was just like, is that an auntie over there? He actually went to Fizz.
Yeah,
was like, I think that's the auntie right there. Like, is that the auntie? And Fizz was like, yeah, absolutely, that's my husband. And then he was like, now you playing with me. Like, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he sent me a message. He's like, I think your friend is down here. And I was like, yeah, he's down there. Too funny.
Look, one thing your aunties is gonna be is out in these streets. That's for sure.
Baby. Period.
Yeah.
And do.
And down. And down. So we're about to be out in these streets together in just a week.
I was about to say that.
Hey!
I'm excited. And community, we're going to be at the Queerties Awards here. So by the time this episode comes out, it'll be next week. We're going to be out there in LA. So if you're out in LA and you see us out in these streets, say hello. We're out there to support our booze. Bad Queers got nominated. And so did Kevin get nominated for a Queerties Award. So we're out there supporting our family and, show up and show out a little bit, but excited. And then obviously it's been a minute since the three of us have been in the same room. So I'm excited to see my booze in person. Touch him and give him hugs and everything. Oh, yeah. So if you see us out there, say hey. So that'll be fun. And we still got to figure out what we're going to do for that episode that week. Obviously, community, you probably want to hear about the Queerties Awards, but we just got to figure out because, after that, we still be all over the place. So we'll
the
figure
logistics
it out.
are crazy. Well, there's we also have to work, and we're going to be on East Coast or West Coast time frame. So, it's going to be a little interesting with our timing of everything, but it's going to be exciting to be out there regardless and to support our sisters and, to see all the other people that are going to be, that are nominated and that are celebrating and, just meet some people and network and hopefully see some of our community members out there while we're in LA.
Yeah, I'm excited. And then to get away from this blizzard, because baby, there's what Dawon, you like literally have missed. I saw a clip today that New York's winter this winter, they've gotten like 40 inches, and I forget what they said for Philly, but it's around that marker as well. And it's all coming like the last like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh baby, a whole bust down. And we ain't talking about what's the girl from Drag Race? It was a little short. Not Lana, but
Lux Noir.
Her mama. Yes, thank you, Lux. But you don't miss all the snow and the craziness. Like this, it's wild.
I remember watching little old Poxitani Phil, who is, in Pennsylvania. It's the groundhog that they bring out on Groundhog's Day. And if it sees its shadow, I don't know if this is well known around the whole United States, but at least in the Midwest, all the way through Pennsylvania, we have Poxitani Phil, and he came out and saw a shadow, and that meant 6 more weeks of winter. And when I saw that news while I'm sitting here in Bali, I was just like,
right.
It sucks to be y'all.
This last one, because the snowstorm 4 weeks ago, I was like, wow, this was crazy. But the amount of snow and how quickly it fell, I don't know if I've seen anything like it, and if I have, it's been decades.
There was a massive
snowstorm.
There was that. People are liking this too, for those that are in Chicago, because we have a lot of Chicago connections. It was 2013.
Or no,
15. No, 2014 or 15. 2015.
It was my last year
winter
there,
of 2015.
And it was Super Bowl.
And that was and then I think 2016, there was a blizzard that happened in New York. That came close, but I mean, this was debilitating. This was absolutely debilitating from, what I saw and from, the news reports and everything. And shout out to Mandani, who basically shut down the streets and made it illegal for people to even be driving on the streets from 9 p.m. the night before on Saturday night through the following morning, so that the emergency people can get out there and do their work. And shout out to all the emergency people that, have been out there in these streets and, shoveling and icing or salting and moving all the snow out of the way. This is just, y'all are putting in the work, and I'm glad I'll be missing all of it.
Yeah, man, you are missing out. And luckily, at least this go round, today was warmer. It was upper 30s. So it's melting quicker than the last time. Because the last time it snowed a month ago, we ended up having 15 days of negative degree weather. So it was just stuck.
Yeah.
And so this go round, at least half of it by today is gone. So I'm like, okay, good. It's going to be fairly quick. We're supposed to get a little more snow tomorrow, but nothing as crazy as this. But as much as I had kind of missed these crazy snowstorms, getting 2 within a month, I'm like, all right, I'm cool. I'm ready for spring. I'm ready to go to PV. I'm ready to go to LA.
I do feel like this is the culmination of all them people that for the last 5 years, it's been, I don't know if it's global warming, but we haven't really had a good winter in a long time with some really good snow. And in my mind, I mean, again, I grew up in Ohio. Kerel, you grew up in Michigan. Jerrell, you grew up in Indiana, and we know what snow is like. Every single winter, we would have massive snows. So we're not really wishing for more snow. And in fact, for me, I could never see another snow day for the rest of my life and would be happy. I don't mind to visit it, but for it to be thrust upon us is a whole different situation. Yeah. And I feel like it's been a good 5-10 years since we all had a really, really debilitating snow blizzard, whatever you want to call it. And this year came back with a vengeance.
It sure did. It said, bitch, I'm back. Da, 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 da.
Look, at least this time around and this time of the pandemic, we've got the working from home situation kind of worked out, where people have the capacity to do a lot of their jobs from home, so they don't have to be traveling.
I don't want to. I'll miss the desktops.
Or they just shut down the building.
Yes.
Shut it all down.
Honestly,
this the ghetto.
That's one of the nice things about being here in PV right now. I don't got my work laptop, so I'm not doing nothing while I'm out here.
I know that's
so,
right.
Yeah. I'm not mad at
Jerrell,
that.
did you have to take like additional PTO? Or are they kind of like working with you? And if you don't want to say on the podcast, you don't got to say nothing.
Yeah, they're working with me, and they're just like, we'll figure things out. Don't worry. They've been checking in with me, like, hey, anything you need, if there's a flight and you're like, it's super expensive, whatever the case is, like, just let us know, like, we'll help get you home. So it's been nice, at least to have that support from the team. I feel bad. One of my friends, he got fired this morning from PV.
Just as a part of a regular layoff, or damn, you didn't show up and that was your last warning?
I'm gonna leave it at that. I can't say too much.
Okay. Then
oh, damn.
And ain't my full story to tell. So I'm just gonna tell you the headlines.
I'm sure he's one of the ones that's like, okay, let's go out. Let's go out and party. We're here.
I know that's right.
like shit. Yeah, I ain't got nothing to go back to. I ain't got to worry about that. They get my laptop when I get back.
He said Spartacus open.
Stop.
For those that know, they know.
Yeah, they do. No, I feel so bad. I mean, like, it's just to be going through all of this, and honestly,
that's
like, I mean, he was still trying to work yesterday, and still trying to figure things out and stuff like that. So to have that happen, I was just like, how soulless do you got to be? Like, just
that part.
It does feel like
again, it's just a
other
reminder.
week we all are knowing somebody that's being. It just seems like every other week we're all finding out somebody that's within our circle that has had their job impacted, or that someone's close to them that have had their. It just seems like that. Gone are the days where it only happened to a few people. Now it just seems like don't count on being with your company for longer than a year, because these streets is tough.
It is.
These hoes ain't loyal.
Show ain't. I know Chris Brown might be problematic, but he tried to tell us a decade ago, 15 years ago. You right. You right. Oh, damn. Well, sending my love to him. And if he needs any of our help, the network, hit us up on LinkedIn. Let him know that as well.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Or Instagram or whatever to get my number and all that good stuff. Let's see here. Oh, it's going to be my birthday. Ow, Pisces.
Yeah.
That's just going to be the knowledge of the whole episode. Ow. And but like it's crazy, like it's on a Saturday this year, and I literally have zero plans. I don't know what to do, because normally we go to like PV or something on my birthday, and then I kind of mess it up with going to the Queerties. So Corey keeps reminding me, he's like, yeah, we was going to probably travel somewhere, but you going out to LA. I'm like, it is what it is. And so literally I leave early that next morning on the 8th. So I'm just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. It might just be a low key birthday this year. I'll go out to eat and call it a night, because I got to get on the plane. But yeah, Pisces season, stand up to all the Pisces.
I'll be there Sunday,
so
we can Sunday fun day for your birthday.
Yeah, that's what we might have to do. We might have to do that. I haven't had a good Sunday fun day in a minute. Yeah, that sounds kind of fun, actually. Okay, we'll figure this out.
So, in honor of your birthday, I wanted to look up your horoscope. So, if you just allow me just for the year, and I know not a lot of people believe in this stuff, and you don't have to believe it. I just, it's nice to have these words of affirmation and positivity and all that kind of stuff. So,
I was about to say, it better be positive.
Yes, coming in here with the Downer, the Debbie Downer note.
Exactly. No. Keep it to yourself.
All right, so just bear with me here. It's a little bit long, but I'll try to get through it pretty expeditiously if I'm going to use a TI word.
Yes.
In 2026, Pisces can expect a transformative year focused on financial growth, career, and personal stability. Marked as one of the luckiest signs, expect unexpected income with financial discipline and courage to build long-term wealth. Relationships will improve, particularly with renewed affectionate energy in the early 2026 with creative peaks. And then it says a little bit deeper, for finance and career, a new era of wealth and abundance begins with Uranus driving unexpected financial growth.
Okay, is that OnlyFans in my future?
Income. Hey, she's been putting that body out there, so we might see something new. She said March is a key month for financial luck, particularly when Venus moves into Aries on March 6th, aiding in career recognition and salary raises. As it relates to love and relationships, this year starts with romance. Creative energy starting around January 3 and lasting for the first part of this year. Throughout the year, you will experience improved relationships and emotional maturity, often leading to deeper and deeper and deeper connections. They threw extra deeper in those connections. Maybe that has to do with Uranus as well.
Right. I'll take all the above.
And for personal growth and wellness, 2026 brings spiritual elevation and a need for balance. Health-wise, the focus should be on being consistent, moderate, and having healthy habits rather than intense changes. So I thought that was in alignment with your journey already with, your health and wellness journey, obviously, deepening your relationships beyond your romantic relationship with your partner, but, with other people that are in your life. And then obviously, finance and career being driven by Uranus is right on trend.
I will gladly claim all the above, please. Amen. No, I appreciate that. Thank you, love.
Yeah.
Yeah, 42 this year, which is great. Like, I had to type that out to, Winston, the one, but he was asking what I was doing for my birthday. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Don't have plans, whatever. He's like, and how old are you turning again? And that's the first time I've had to, type my age in forever. And just looking at those digits together, I was like, that is just so weird. Like, you just it's rare that you even just really have to say your age or even write it anymore. But you take a moment and it sinks in. You're like, whoa, A, when did that happen? But B, completely grateful and thankful that I'm healthy and in good situation, blah, 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 blah. But it's just it's so not what you think is going to be at this point. The older you get, the continue just I still feel 19, Yeah. But then, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just bizarre every fucking year.
Now that you're 2 years into your 40s, I think what would be, and maybe we can get a splice into this. It might be interesting because I remember we asked the question, what do you hope for in this next decade in your life? It would be interesting to see now that we're 2 years into it, is this in alignment? Are you seeing that things are aligning to what you had hoped for as you turn 40? And now that you're 2 years into that journey, how is it shaping up?
I'm going to go back to that episode. I forget what I said. Which is bad because I probably should have this hanging up somewhere, but shit, it should be a post-it right here. So clearly, I don't know. I probably, if I recall and just knowing myself, it was probably just more abundance of all the above, and just health and peace. And if anything, as I get older, peace is such joy to me. Just peace of mind, peace of finance, peace of all the above, and just being comfortable and set, and that's what I strive for. So obviously more money and all that is always better in my book, but just trying to come to peace with what you have and what you could provide and things like that is what I kind of lean towards the older I've gotten. And one thing I've always had, and this is just something I've recently thought about, just because I look in my closet, I'm I just have so much. Thankfully, thank God. And that's probably always been my vice of just buying clothes. I just like that. But now that I work from home more, I'm becoming just more like t-shirt and shorts and go to the gym because it's just easier.
And she's
And
getting
so like
skinny,
part of it's
y'all.
like, you know, now,
Yes.
yeah. Um, but I was just thinking, I was just like, I probably need to just get rid of a lot of this stuff. But then I was just like, what do I want my aesthetic to look and be? And I don't want as much of it either. And so just kind of figuring that line, because like I always will like probably, because I get it from my mom. My mom's the same way. She just likes buying clothes. She just like that aesthetic and things like that. But like I'm realizing I don't have, like I like to prove that I can dress when I want to dress, but day to day I don't. There's nothing to really prove in that regard, if that makes sense. And so that's a slight shift that I'm realizing and I don't know, it's just me getting old and not caring. And call me dad bod, dad shoes, all you want. I don't give a fuck. I
Come
don't
on,
know.
Stacey
But
Adams.
that's just something, a baby, period. But that's something that like I literally was thinking about as actually I was getting my like stuff together for the LA trip of just like what I want to wear there. And I was just like, I have so much in here that I haven't worn that I don't need to buy anything else. And then I'm like realizing I'm like, that's a good thing to feel that I don't feel obligated. Normally I'd be like, let me instantly go buy a lot of new stuff. That I'm not feeling that urge to have to. I've been looking, but I haven't pulled the trigger on doing anything. So that's something that's maybe as I go into 42 and a little beyond that I'm realizing I don't have to spend, that I have enough. And that's cool. It's a cool feeling to feel that like
What
I've
are
been
s-
blessed enough to have.
And what, as you think about like the year ahead or the years ahead, what are some of the things that you're more gravitating towards now that perhaps you didn't prioritize or focus on in some of your previous years?
I would say right now it's just the whole fitness thing of it. I never lifted before in my life. Never did any of that. I I literally the longest I lifted before now was when I was turning 30. And at that point I was in Chicago and I was like, okay, got a trainer for like 3 or 4 months. And I was like, I got this. And I lasted maybe another month and that was about it, you know? And so I was always like pretty slender growing up because like I ran track and did sports and things like that. So like I'm lifted a little bit off and on then, I guess, in high school. But to be consistently this focused on trying to transform my body and things like that, and this is the longest. So I would say that's something I want to continue to do just because I'm enjoying it so far, and it's been call it like a year and a half almost, and the see that I've been diligent on that. So I foresee that still going. Because even on the weird thing, I think we've talked about it before, just like even the mental part of it, just like it allows me to focus on one thing at a moment, which is hard for me to do. My brain's always going other places and things like that. So to be in the gym in that moment, it allows me to be like, okay, this is what I'm doing in the moment. And that's super hard for me. So I like that benefits of that. But outside of that, I don't know, just again, just being fine with what you have and friendships, my husband and family, and just continuing the growth of that. Like still trying to get home more often just because like I just have so many nieces and nephews now that it's just like I want them to know who I am. That's becoming a little more important to me. And this is something I haven't said out loud for the first time in my life. I'm like, do I actually move back closer to home? I don't think that's going to be the answer quite yet. But for the first time since I've left,
I might be closer.
that has at least like come into my brain.
Said
That. But it's the first time that I've actually like was like, that's like, and not to say it wasn't important for me before, because like I always find a way to get home, but just knowing that like my brother has family and kids, and then like my parents getting older and things like that, it's increasingly more important to just be able to kind of quickly get to and fro, just because they're important to me. So that's just something that like has literally been on my mind more recent as well. So yeah, we'll see, and just enjoying the ride, enjoying the journey of life, because it's shorter than we think, but it's longer than we think. So. So yeah, that's enough on me. We gotta talk about this, and it's only a one aunties. Do you give a damn? But aunties, do you give a damn that they was calling us niggas at the BAFTAs?
I give a damn, mostly because there is more attention being placed on the person with Tourette's who, said the word than there is about the folks that were the victim of the word being used. And that we're distorting, that the narrative around this is really focused around the treatment of that individual versus those other individuals. And I think the other part that I give a damn about is that the fact that the BAFTAs truly was not live because they've edited out other components of the show, that they, whether purposefully or absent-mindedly because of institutional racism, we just don't da-da-da-da-da, they chose to lead that in. Yeah, that's what I give a damn about.
For 15 hours at that.
That's
Yeah, I'm with you, Dawon. Like I 1,000% agree with you. Like I know people are like, but he got Tourette's, and things happen. I'm like, okay, but that's not the only component to this that needs to be discussed. Like what about, because it was Michael B. Jordan, right? And I forget the other
Yeah, Michael B.
the other
Jordan,
actor's
Delroy.
name. Yeah. I'm just like, and to be two black men on a stage like that and have to take that, like to take that shot publicly like that. I mean, the way okay, I can't fight you, but who your mama, where your daddy at? Because somebody gonna catch these hands. I can't maybe come at you, but there's somebody around you that's gonna get this smoke. So who is gonna be? So I give a damn.
Yeah, I give a damn because like I get tired of us always having to be the one to show grace, and even though that's like in my nature, like it comes for me where like, okay, I'll give the benefit of the doubt, but it's just like, why as a community and a culture, as a people, that they always want us to be like, well, he has Tourette's, or well, he has this, or well, they this, or well, they that, and but dot. And so we just got to stand there and take it again. And like you said, for them to not even really issue an apology up front right away when this was like going viral is crazy to me.
Yeah.
To have it up for 15 hours and not take it down after people have been saying, this is what they said, this is what he said, please at least mute this shit out, is crazy to me. And then again, just even the wording of some of these headlines and all these articles, I'm like, people still just do not get it.
Yeah.
Or if they do, they just simply do not care. So why do you want us to continue to show grace and empathy and sympathy for the situation when you're not showing that to us again? And that's what the conversation needs to be. And so I've seen so many, and obviously as a black culture, obviously the internet is like obviously a lot of talking pieces, but again, we're finding the humor and things like that and saying what we would have done and things like that. But it's just like, why do we always have to do that? Like, we get tired of this shit. And so, I mean, kudos to Michael and Delroy for being up there and just handling it with grace and professionalism and things like that. But I'm with you, Joe. Like, somebody gonna get some words today because y'all show you ain't care. And for Kerel to get to that point and have to say that, like, maybe that's another thing at 42 that I'm starting to turn that corner. I don't know, like, because it's just too much. It's just too much, and it's during Black History Month. Fuck all this stuff. And I know Michael B. Jordan and Delroy and Ryan Coogler gonna be glad when this center's run is done because y'all been trying it from get-go. They just tired at this point. They ready to go home.
Yeah, I it is fair to acknowledge that John Davidson, that the one who has Tourette's and was the one that said the word, has and immediately came out with a public apology for his actions, and he So he did come out and say that he was mortified for that. That wasn't his intention. Obviously he's been an advocate for Tourette's syndrome. Obviously people might not know that he has been an advocate for people with Tourette's syndrome and helping folks to better understand and have a deeper understanding of this condition, and that it is involuntary and it's not intentional, and it's not directed at a particular person, and it can be triggered by a lot of different things that have absolutely nothing to do with the people that they're interacting with. But so it is fair to say that. I think the beef isn't necessarily with him as an individual. The beef is with the BBC. And their lack, even though they came out with an apology, apology without decisive action is not really an apology. So the fact that this had been out there for as long as it has been without it being corrected, when it could have been corrected in the moment, is just
that part
inexcusable. People need to be fired. It's just plain and simple. Like that's where the corrective action needs to be. Y'all clearly don't know how editing works. Or you do, and you don't give a damn, which means
they hear that word every day. It was so comfortable.
They didn't even see it.
They ain't fooling me. Like we say in Drag Race, send them all home. Send them all home.
That part.
Tired of this shit. Ooh, Lord Jesus. Especially in a moment that's supposed to be so joyous and joyful. It's like you put all this energy into your craft and your profession and things like that, and this to happen in the same realm, that's just a lot. You're asking a lot for them to continue to be graceful and professional. And again, it's not a beef with him. It's a beef with the BAFTA and BBC. So don't get that twisted. Anyway, let's take a quick little tea break because we do have an Ask Your Aunties question that's kind of pertinent of just kind of the time frame now. So we'll be right back with Ask Your Aunties. Hey, community. A lot of you have asked how you can support Minoritea Report outside of the sharing and downloading and subscribing and leaving reviews. But you can also buy merch. Come on, baby.
I know that's right. And we have a whole lot of options, from clothing to pillows to tumblers and bags. And we continue to update all of our stuff with new styles, new colors, and new products. Jerrell, where can they get all that stuff at?
Well, they can get all that and then some at MinorityReport.com. They can find all the goodies, find out additional information about your aunties. And we also want to make sure that you share and tag us when you do buy merch, all right? So let us know if it's a hoodie, it's a tee, a long shirt, a towel, because we know you need those. But let us know.
Absolutely. And remember to wash your hands, your legs, and your ass. All right, ladies, what time is it?
Ask your
Aunties.
Come on, Echo.
And it's gonna be so funny for me to edit this because, I don't know when everything coming in. Oh Lord. Let's see. Who wants to read it, or do you want me to read it?
Go ahead and read it because it's not coming up for me.
Okay.
Don't let me read it.
All right. It says, "Hey, beautiful people. I hope all is." Hey, beautiful people. I hope all is well. I got you thinking about the Olympics and wondered what kind of conversations are you having with family and friends about rooting for everyone representing the USA. I'll be honest, I can't root for people from the United States, especially the hockey team. Especially the hockey team, knowing what they truly feel about marginalized people. Even some of the women's team says some jacked up stuff about trans people. For me, personally, just for me, it's like loving your abuser, or at least its representative. We put so much aside for the moment in time when 365, 366 days a year, they would shit on us at a moment's notice. I can't do it. What about you all?
This is, talk about a complicated
It's interesting.
war. there's something to be said about being able to appreciate. Okay, here I'll pause. Jerrell, you go.
It must be a very long delay because I said that 5 seconds
Or
ago.
maybe
So
not.
I'm gonna keep on talking, just so y'all know. It's coming.
What do we?
I have struggled with this a lot. And I love the Olympics, whether it's the Summer Olympics or the Winter Olympics. And I have been mainly watching like figure skating. I've been watching the sports of actual queer athletes, and I've been rooting for everyone black. It's very hard to be selective for team sports like hockey and root for certain people on the hockey team because that means other people on the hockey team you don't care about also get to win. So it's been very tough. But I mean, we have our first black woman to ever make it on the U.S. women's hockey team and also won gold. Like there are
Yeah.
things to celebrate still that I want to make sure that I'm not, giving love to some people who actually who do deserve it. And so I've just been telling people that the only way things are going to get better is if we don't check out. If we start compartmentalizing, what's happening here versus what's happening at the games and what it's representing, I don't think we'll be able to clean up our home at all. So I've been trying to still stay into it. Glad it's done, but yeah, it's kind of tough, honestly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking, Dawon?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think what makes this so complicated for a lot of us is that the Olympics is an opportunity to celebrate your national pride. And for many of us, we don't have that national pride at the moment. And seeing so many other countries leveraging this platform to express their disdain and
Cheating. Oh,
frustration with the U.S. for how we've been showing up and showing out is expected. And it's complicated because not only would you, as a American, you want to celebrate our national pride, which right now it's difficult to do that given our political climate. But then you also want to be able to use this as an opportunity to celebrate, watch, and support not only teams, but also individuals. And so when you have on one end the politics of our United States that are affecting how we choose to support and show up, and then you also have individuals who are either reflecting a lot of those politics in their own behaviors and actions that are not necessarily consistent with or shared by other members of that team. It makes it difficult for us as viewers to be able to cheer for our country and cheer for these teams. And so I feel like, much to Jerrell's point, it becomes more about celebrating individuals and individual achievements, and rooting for everyone black, rooting for everyone trans, rooting for everyone that is othered, and showing them the level of support that we can. But it's challenging because there's this negative feeling that's attached to these sporting events, which should be intended to bring us together, but instead it becomes a reflection of why we are separated.
And I think Dawon might have froze up on our end right now. He's probably still talking in
I
the
think so
recording,
too.
so we'll give it a few moments.
Yeah. You can still hear me though, right?
Yeah, it looks like he's pretty frozen here. So I'll hop in here and we'll see if Dawon. Yep, I can still hear you, Jerrell. And again, community, sorry, the Wi-Fi all over the world right now. Just we struggling through it, but we getting through it. So Dawon, if you can hear us, I'm gonna just hop in with my thoughts here. You guys both nailed it. It's so complicated, and what happens is just like it's hard. I'm just upset that the folks in power are making it this complicated for folks that have spent their entire lives training for moments like this and making it become this gray and messy. So that's what, like, the initial spot. It doesn't have to be this messy. like, yes, we just know the history of the U.S. is messy and things like that, but specifically in this point in time, it doesn't have to be this messy. And for the folks that are in power making it this messy, spending all our tax dollars to fly over there and be in the locker room celebrating and shit like that when you ain't did shit, like, it's a little
On
disturbing.
taxpayer dime, on top
I
of that.
agree that. And so it's just like, it's frustrating to see that moment, especially like you said, for like the women's hockey team, like the black woman there, and wanting to root for her and root for their success and things like that. And I love the Olympics as well. And so like, it was interesting, even when the men's hockey team first won, I was at the gym, and just to see them win it, my initial reaction was like, oh, yay. And then came like the flood of like, oh, but this is complicated. And there's things that people have said, and and so it's just like, it's hard. So I get why folks don't want to watch. I get why people pull back, and I'm with Jerrell that it's just like, they expect us to pull back, and maybe find the folks that you align with personally that have maybe spoken out against the craziness that is our country right now, and rooting them on. And yes, it's hard to maybe to put the nation behind it, but it's just like, at least I'm rooting for XYZ, this person, because I know the skills that they have, I know the talent that they have, I know the hard dedication that they have, and they're speaking up against the things that they don't believe is right in our country, in our world right now. So I don't know if there's a right answer, quite frankly, right now. It's complicated order. And it's probably going to be complicated for a while, quite frankly. And
Yeah, I will say though, I
we
think
usually
if
use
you
sports like for escapism, and it's hard to escape the political part of it that's ingrained with it. Go ahead, Drew.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think part of this conversation is also just about, you know, holding your family, accountable during the elections as well too, and not waiting to things
Yes.
like the Olympics to also say something. Like if you concerned now while the Olympics are happening, I need you to be concerned, 24/7 outside the Olympics as well too. So continue to
Yeah.
make sure that you're voting and talk to, your relatives and your family about, the different politicians in their states, not just where you live, but in the other states. People got family all over the country. So it's very easy to be caught up to, politics where you live, but hold your family in the other states where it matters a lot as well too.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. And we've been saying it all year. This is a major political year, a major time that we need to show up at the polls. So it's never too late to make sure you're registered to vote. Clearly, they're pulling out all the craziness this year to make sure you're not able to. So just double check your registration. But I agree, like, outside of the Olympics, you need to speak up and have your family members and things like that. So it's just not even just now in this time frame to show up and show out against the wild stuff this administration specifically, and just a lot of folks that have voted for him are saying and doing right now. So yeah, complicated order. So I don't know if that helps at all. I don't know if that gives any clarity, but I think just as crazy it is for you, it is for a lot of folks.
Okay.
And it's just a lot of gray involved with it right now. And then we're trying to get Dawon back here as we speak. But
I'm back.
But yeah, we appreciate you sending this in. And then actually this person that sent this in, they actually sent another good Ashy Aunties that we'll have like in the next couple of weeks as well that will work out. So we appreciate everyone sending those Ashy Aunties. And it looks like Dawon, you're back in the house, boo. What's up?
Hey, yeah, thank you. Sorry about that.
Let's see here. We can't hear you
Is
now
she?
though. We see you.
Is she back? I know I'm delayed.
I see your mouth moving though, and I bet you the recording is probably picking it up. So when I edit this, we're probably talking all over each other. But we'll give it a few moments here. And again, community, thank you for hanging with us. It's just been a crunchy episode, but we trying to hang in there with you as well. And if not, we might cut this bitch a little short.
Yeah, I think we might have to.
Yeah. But community, continue to send your SUNTs to aya@minorityareport.com or DM us or hit us on the T line, which I don't know off the top of my head because usually we have Dawon say it. So let me see. It's something T line. I think it's 188 T line. Is that right, Jerrell?
Yep, that's it.
I should know that. Do better, Kerel. My man. Oh, there we go. 844. There we go. Thank you, boo. Do I put it in the chat? Coming through. 844 T line. That's 844-832-5463. So I'm glad he can hear us and type and communicate that way because I was struggling. But anyway, in the crazy headline that I just saw pop up and we'll end here is that the Olympic Village went through 10,000 condoms in 3 days. There was around 2,800 athletes. And so they were having a shortage of condoms. And I was like, damn, they was getting in. But maybe they just got like, the sleeve. Each person can go and get their little sleeve or whatever. But I was like, okay. They said, I don't finish my event. Let me get it in. But anything. Jerome, we're glad you're safe and sound.
That's stress. I don't know.
Baby, that is stress. That is stress. Glad you're safe and sound, though. Get home safely. Community, again, we do the drag race. We'll see if we do it this week. Just because we're having the Wi-Fi, we might save it for next week. So we might just do 2 episodes next week. And see us there. So obviously subscribe and all that thing. Hit the bell so you get all the notifications. And hopefully we have better Wi-Fi next week. So until then, wash your hands, your legs, and your ass. We love you. See you then. Bye.
Bye.
All right, it's episode 369. 369.
Hey. Let me see a second to me one more time. Get low. Get low. Get low.
Get low. Get low. Get low. Get low. Get low. To the window.
From the window
to the wall.
to the walls.
Let that shit come on now.
Hey, baby, let it come on. Because the sweat drop down my balls. Look, everybody's still saying that. Because all these bitches cry.
All these bitches cry.